Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today's matchup is brought to you by the letter H, as Hearttt, playing as the Slavs in blue, gets ready to take on Hera, playing as the Turks in red. Now while the players heard their Hearttables explore their immediate surroundings and try to go up to Feudal Age ASAP, why don't we take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now the Slavs are a civilization focusing on its melee units. Their infantry, whose military line is basically pristine and already quite strong, can be upgraded to do trample damage, and their unique unit, the Boyar, is a fairly slow but super tanky, powerful cavalry unit with a very high amount of melee and pierce armor. Think Teutonic Knight on a horse. Now, to support their melee units on the battlefield against harassment by annoying things like ranged units, all Slavic workshop units are 15% cheaper, which is fantastic, because the Slavs have access to every single siege workshop unit in the game, with the exception of the bombard cannon, and those cheaper siege units can be combined with monks, which for the Slavs move 20% faster than normal to generate a powerful siege monk rush, adorably called a smush. Now, Slavic castles themselves can also be upgraded so that 40% of their stone cost is replaced with wood, which does save a player 260 stone per castle. Now, to help them grow their military production, both supplies and gambesons upgrades are free of charge. Their farmers work 15% faster. It used to be 10, now 15% faster. And all of their barracks, their archery ranges, their stables, and their siege workshops actually provide 5 population space, just like a house, which in the earlier stages of the game does free up a little bit of wood to be spent on more infrastructure or perhaps some military. Now, pivoting our eye to the top right of our screen, we see Hera playing as the Turks in red, a civilization built around their love of gunpowder. Turkish gunpowder units are created faster, come with extra HP, cheaper technologies, and some of their gunpowder units can be upgraded to get extra range. Now, staying on brand, the unique unit of the Turks is the Janissary. This is basically a more powerful, more expensive, but less accurate hand cannoneer with more HP, a better attack, and more armor, although no attack bonus against infantry. So we'll see if we get to see any kind of gunpowder units, whether or not Hera will opt for the Janissary, or whether or not we'll see some Turkish hand cannoneers. Now, to support their heavy but expensive units on the battlefield, the Turks can field some pretty interesting backup units. To start with, their scout line units come with extra pierce armor. Their cav archers can be upgraded to get 20 extra HP, and those very same scout line units I just mentioned automatically upgrade to light cavalry, automatically upgrade to hussars for free. So the Turks hit the ground running in castle and imperial with top of the line raiding units immediately without having to pay or to wait for those upgrades to be researched. Now, to be able to afford their gunpowder units, which, as we all know, are quite gold intensive, Turkish gold miners do work 20% faster. They get the chemistry upgrade free of charge, and the upgrade that I mentioned from scout to light cav to hussar saves them 1,300 resources, which includes 650 gold. So this is a pretty damn interesting matchup. Not the first time that these two Aftermath legends, titans, have butted heads. Let's take a look as they both sit on 17 villagers. Hearttt taking on Loom for a second, or rather researching Loom for a second. Good time for us to look at their bases and see where they've spawned. Gold for our Slav in the back, stone to the south, additional gold pile to really to the back. So nice and secure as he now clicks up to feudal ahead of his opponent, who has 1 extra villager and finds himself housed, although probably not really a big deal since he's going to queue up a whole bunch of Feudal Age after this. And there you go, Hera does exactly that. Let's take a look at forests. Hearttt, 1 in the forward position, but the entire, let's call it east and southeast of his base, very open. The entire north, very open. So this is kind of an open-ish base. I like that he's got a few additional resources to the back, which can be secured by a simple wall off right here. But the other part of his base, like I said, the north, the east, and the southeast, very much open. We'll see if Hearttt even decides, rather where he decides to wall off his base. Hera now also heading up to the next age, about 25 seconds behind his opponent, which is the amount of time it takes to train a villager, and that's exactly what he's got, 1 extra villager. Let's see his base. Primary stone and gold. A little bit exposed here in the kind of a center position. His forests. It looks like he's got 2 forests compared to Heartt's 3, but his second forest, look at the size of this thing. It is huge, and it is in the back. So that is a very safe and secure forest. The southern portion of his base, the western and the northern portion completely open. Additional gold here to the top left, additional gold to the right. Where is his extra stone? Ooh, man, very annoyingly placed on a very large hill, very far away from his town center, very much off campus. And so we'll see if he has any trouble mining that quarry. For now, it looks like our slab, which, by the way, let's take a look. Oh, I was a little bit too slow to point it out. His supply space population room jumped from 30 to 35 when he plopped down that archery range. What is he training skirmishers at the moment? Has he discovered his opponent's base? Yes, he has discovered quite a lot of Hera's base, actually. And again, at the 10-minute mark of the game, we have a slight little glitch. Hera has also discovered where his opponent is, and wow, also scouted out the archery range. So fantastic scouting out of both players, actually. Has Hearttt seen any secondary structures? Not at all, because guess what? Hera doesn't have any secondary structures. I don't see any military buildings here at all, except for the barracks. Hera choosing to spend his wood and his stone on a tower defending these berries, assuming correctly, by the way, that Hearttt is going to push right into the front here. And so it's created a funnel here. Actually, is this closed? I don't know if this is necessarily closed. I don't know. Those Monet Lily-ish pads. Kind of confusing. It looks like 1 kill apiece. Hearttt managing to get a villager here as he dies constructing the tower he so loves, but takes a spearman with him straight to hell, and Hearttt immediately pivots to the north. No sense in risking these weak, low HP units to a tower. Hera gets a few shots off at a skirmisher, backs away straight into the defense of this tower, and notices, by the way, that there's a skirmisher here undefended. Fantastic game sense out of our Turks so far. Abandons this forward attack. Why would he continue there? There is a spearman, and I've said it before, I'll say it now, and I'll say it forever. It is important for Hera to keep as many of these scout line units alive, because when he hits castle, if he hits castle, they automatically become light cavalry, and so the more of them you have, the stronger of an army you get immediately once you hit castle. That being said, he's plopping down a stable of his own. He's got 330 food. Doesn't look like he's interested in training any military. Our Slav literally has 1,000 times bigger military count than our Turk, with 11 units to 1. And look at how calm and collected Hera is, gathering berries here underneath 11 army supply. Now he's just kind of keeping an eye on reinforcements, seeing, perhaps wondering, is this all I'm going to have to face? Or am I going to see more reinforcements? Is my opponent rushing up to castle? What the hell is there? And decides to come home with the scout. And there you go. This is what you get with a feudal age army. Just a little bit of annoyance, a little bit of a wasted wood for now, as these farmers get pushed off the very forward farms. Hera chooses this moment to engage with the army on the left. Our Slav has carved his army into 2. And so there's only really 1 spearman here. If you can get this spearman without losing a scout, fantastic. But look at this scout. 2 HP, has to back the hell away. That being said, these skirmishers are in a bit of trouble. Hearttt, though, knows exactly what Hera's plan is. Immediately reinforces with another spearman. And now the scouts, this one with 16 HP, this one with 40. Yeah, they can't really engage. 40 and 16 is 56. The spearman does 18 damage to these scouts. So literally 3, just a little over 3 prods, and those scouts are all dead. Let's see if Hera engages here on the right. He notices that the spearmen are now separated. Hearttt, having carved his army now into 3 pieces, loses another spearman. I mean, at this point, Hera might just want to engage. He's got 5 scouts now, so he's building up an army. He is spending a lot of food to do it, though. But the more he spends on food, the more he can secure the forward portion of his base. Spearmen are not going to push into here with a town center guarding it, and Hearttt has to back the hell away, but not before getting a scout. Kill count 7 to 2. Still no villager kills for Hera. Doesn't really care at the moment, I'd imagine. Probably just wants to get Hearttt the hell away from him. And look at Heartt's resources, though. 850 food, 175 gold. Does he have the requisite structures? No, he doesn't yet. I'm not seeing the second little blue house here in the top left of our screen light up, which means that Hearttt has the resources. What he doesn't have are the structures needed to go up to the next stage. I think he just realized that. Immediately puts down a stable. Of all things, a stable? Not a market, not a blacksmith, but a stable, and Hera moves in. He sees it. Somehow Hera knows exactly when to poke in, exactly when to see the most he can possibly see. And now I expect it to go, him, to go immediately up to the next age. Two spearmen should be able to zone out these lighter cavalry units. Look at Hera's kill count, though. It is expanding 11 to 2. And he is also getting villager kills, but he is basically only halfway up to castle, and he himself doesn't have a secondary structure right now. Just that one stable that we saw earlier. Not too sure what he's chasing into here. Oh, because he's got 4 scouts on the left, so he's going to sandwich this Slavic army. Immediately gets a spearman. The spearman doing a little bit too much walking here. Hera getting a lot of shots off at that spearman before he actually got only one poke off at Hera's units. But there you go. Hera can't engage, not anymore, not with 3 spearmen, even if one of them is basically on death's door here with 8 HP. That is still not enough to one-shot. Still needs 2 attacks, right? Yeah, no armor. They attack on a 5, so 8 divided by 5, 1.6, which means he needs 2. Hera finally has the resources to go up to the next age. We suspect a castle. 582 stone out of him once he hits castle age. Not exactly a count that you have if you want to go just pure town centers. And another scout bites the dust here. We'll keep an eye on Hera's poke to the back of our Slavic base. Our Slav is here. He's going to have to stay very close. He's going to have to hug this tower right as he reaches castle age. And what is he going to do? I don't see anything being built for him. No additional stone. He is busy trying to get as many villagers as he can. And look at Hera. He knows exactly what's what. You can't stay in this dead zone if there's a tower right here, he says. But Hearttt is going to contest this tower location. Spearmen are poking away at this tower. Its HP is falling. Our Turk is still well over a minute from hitting castle age. But holy moly, how many towers does Hera have? 4 towers. That is a good amount of stone to invest. A second down center going up for our Slav. I'm surprised here and not a little bit closer to the stone. I wonder why right here, right next to the lumber camp. Hera moves out. He's going to lose a whole bunch of scouts. So this is exactly what he didn't want happening. But he's got 6 of them. We'll see in 27 seconds. Them automatically becoming light cavalry, and fantastic hold here by our Turk. This other tower to the right did save his ass, gave him the opportunity to build this tower in the center. And let's keep an eye out. There they go. They hit castle, automatically become light cavalry. A 3rd town center going up for our Slav. At the same time as he keeps poking in with more and more cavalry, these villagers taking on light cavalry. I'm not too sure about that, especially now that there's a knight here as well. Tower does manage to pick off one of the spearmen. Hera's got 629 stone. Again, I don't think he's going to put down any town centers. Not exactly a big revelation. Looks like another villager kill. Look at the kill count. 33 kills for Hera, 9 for our Slav. Man, did our Slav lose a whole bunch of units here to the north trying to get these towers, which ultimately he did not get. Not even this one. So he's going to have to back off. He's going to run straight into the quicker feet of the light cavalry, which are going to poke away at his HP. 30 HP. Oh yeah, he's in a bit of trouble here with this knight. 28 HP. Some reinforcements are coming forward, but he's got to be careful. I don't think Hera's going to abandon this chase. He smells blood in the water. He knows this knight has nowhere to go. Oh, our Slav brilliantly pulling Hera into the town center. Hera has to disengage. Takes another spearman poke. And now he's going to run away. He's got 4 left. Their HP is terrible. They're at 94 HP out of 240. Oh, look at that. I was absolutely wrong. He does go for a town center. So why the hell does he have 677 stone if he doesn't have doesn't want to place down a castle? Maybe he's waiting for the next attack. Maybe he doesn't know where to place the castle. Should it be offensive? Should it be defensive? There's a 1 unit here scouting the forward position of Heartt's base. Another light cavalry unit with 2 HP has been sent on relic duty. Wonder why he's not standing right next to the relic. And it is our Slav who looks like he'll get the first relic of the game. Another town center for Hera. Well, there you go. I thought for sure with all those villagers on stone with 600 plus, or at the time about 400 stone, that we were definitely going to get to see some kind of castle being dropped by our Turk, perhaps in the forward position. I mean, this forest is good to get your opponent off of. The problem for Hera, if he does that, 1, 2, 3, 4 forests in the backwards position. So I wonder if a castle, I mean, if he even goes for a castle drop, will be better here. Look at all the military industrial complex of our Slav is very much concentrated right here. You get these 2 stables, you get the archery range, the barracks, and all of a sudden, bad news bears for our Slav, who now pokes in with 1 spearman. Their line of sight is pretty decent. So he's going to see a little bit before he ultimately bites the dust. What he also sees is a whole bunch of Turkish camels. No bloodlines just yet for him, these knights. You know, I don't know if they should be so scared. Actually, nah, bloodlines with bloodlines in 10 seconds. I was going to say, even without bloodlines, they can take a little bit of a fight and then head back. He does have 4 monks on the field, which means he can heal these knights. Although both players have monks, so they can both extend the longevity of their army husbandry for Hera to make these units a little bit quicker. He's got 784 stone. He's caught up in terms of number of town centers. Here we go. We know what this means. No fewer than 6 villagers. Where, oh, where will Hera place this castle? You know, some players, it's an interesting, actually more than 6. He's brought 12 villagers. Hearttt sees this. He sees the villagers. He knows something's up. He immediately attempts to convert some of the camels. He gets 1 camel. The camels. He gets 2 camels, 3 camels. Amazing, amazing fight here by Hearttt, who gets the camels and immediately guns down Hera's monks. The problem is, this is the real problem for our Slav, who's going to take the battle here handily, but none of these units are going to be able to engage into a castle. He deletes his own infrastructure so that he can get at the villagers, but Hera puts down a, I'm assuming a palisade. There it is. So an unnecessary deletion of an archery range and a barracks by our Slav. Fantastic play out of both. That was just an absolutely epic little series of events. There's Hearttt getting the conversions, gunning down the enemy monks, but they were all just a big distraction for the villagers to arrive. Now, what I was saying before the excitement started happening is that there's generally, interestingly, 2 kinds of play styles, right? There's the players whose villagers are here, and then you want a castle drop, so you place the castle, and then your villagers move to construct it, or you act like Hera did, which is your villagers move halfway, and then you place the castle. I don't know if there's an actual difference. I don't know if it's a distinction without a meaning. I don't know if this one is done for a specific reason or not. In any event, Hera plopping down the castle while his villagers were basically almost already there, and now a ram comes out and a town center. He loves doing this with the forward town centers. Good place for his villagers to hide. Not sure it's really necessary when it's right next to a castle, and janissaries are coming out. Oh my goodness, is this open? Hera's base is completely open. I mean, this is not exactly a secure base here, only a few towers. And now the knights have what kind of armor? No armor upgrades whatsoever. Okay, and a defensive castle back home. So Heartt's going to have a little bit of trouble getting any kind of damage done here. The villagers have absconded into the town center. The castle is going to fire rain holy hell down on the heads of these knights. Looks like a bunch of light cavalry for our Turks did bite the dust. No surprise there. Pikemen and camels. Good luck to you if you're a light cavalry unit trying to face off against that. And it looks like the first ram was taken down by these knights, if I had to guess. Town center, no kills at all. 2 villagers inside. And now the monks come out. They're going to try to convert these janissaries. But man, all of a sudden, what are you? You are a random knight here. All of a sudden, Hera has just planted himself in the front of Heartt's base. I keep trying to say Slav instead of the player's name. I do apologize. And our Slav Hearttt is heading up to Imperial Hera. Unless he's got it queued up somewhere behind these 6 villagers, is nowhere close. Our Slav looks like it plopped down his own big, fat, juicy square castle. We've got 1 boyar inside. He's got to act. Is he waiting 2 minutes for his trebuchets to come out? Because Hera's just training more and more of these janissaries. And the more of them there are, the bigger the problems are. I mean, janissaries are going to rip through these camels. The camels have no armor at all. Only a +1. Janissaries attack on a 17. Now, the saving grace here for Hearttt is look at the base accuracy. I think 50%. Yeah, they miss half the time they fire. But Heartt's had enough. He's moving in with knights. We'll see if these janissaries run away, abandon the rams. That is exactly what they do. But enough of them pop out. Are there enough to actually one-shot knights with the castle? Oh my god. So a bit of a bloodied nose for both of these players here. One losing a few janissaries and a ram, the other losing a few knights. Nothing really game-ending. Hera now also heading up to Imperial Age, but 2.5 minutes behind his opponent. I don't know why I'm being bothered so much by this knight. I keep seeing the dot on the mini-map. Okay, never mind. Hearttt just decides to delete it. You know what? I don't really care. I don't really need it right now. He has 1 boyar still inside this castle. He's got the wood. He's got the gold. Immediately a treb. Hera is still more than 2 minutes away from Imperial Age. And he's backing away? Okay, so this is a bit confusing. He's backing away with his army, but at the same time putting down another siege workshop because he knows this one's going to get gunned down by the castle. So are you coming or are you going? Did you take Viagra or did you take prune juice, to quote the infamous joke? Knights are now here raiding. Tell me they've got some armor upgrades. I mean, I can't always just look at the top left. Yes, they do, and they're going to have the max armor upgrades and Cavalier, and his monks are going to have 12 range and vision in a minute. I don't know if Hera's castle is going to survive here. 2 rams, a treb, 2 trebs. Where's the second? Oh, it's behind this castle. He's got an opportunity here. Does our Slav to get rid of this castle. At the same time, he is raiding to the north of Hera's base, but there's a whole bunch of janissaries here already. And yet again, these knights enter the same location, this time from the north and not from the open area here to the south. And the results are the same. The knights are just going to basically die. It looks like the castle has gone down. The siege workshop has gone down. And Hera has abandoned ship. The forward position of our Turk is now completely gone right as he hits Imperial Age. That is very sour. Usually, we've seen in recent times, it is Hera who gets up to Imperial Age first. This time, Hearttt beats him by a whopping 2+ minutes. And when you give a pro player 2+ minutes, you best believe you are in a lot of trouble, as 4 more stables are being plopped down, 12 cavaliers in training, and a big, fat, middle-of-the-road castle. Looks like this cavalier needs to back the hell out of here. Now, cavaliers are basically as good as it gets here for the Slavs. They don't get paladins. Is he going to take these farms? Is he going to destroy the farms? Whoa. What's going to happen here? I am so confused. All I know is we've got elite janissaries. We've got heavy camel riders. We've got armor upgrades for both. Elite boyar. You've got 1 boyar. Very interesting. Let's see janissaries. Let's see boyars. Let Christmas come a little bit earlier this year. And let's see a big titanic clash between these 2 players' outposts here. Oh, fantastic spotting by our Slav. Sees this taking of the gold. And he is right now dismantling the farmlands of our Turkish expansion. What will he do here? He sees it. I think Hera should see this tower. Yeah, no, Hera sees him. Hearttt sees Hera. And the Boyar is not a cheap unit. You might want to save some gold here. He's only got 200 gold. He's training 8 of them. Oh, this is exactly what it's for. And Hera. I mean, the level of maneuvering out of these players is just ridiculous. Hearttt sees Hera mining gold, immediately sends Cavaliers. Hera sees that Hearttt sees him and immediately reinforces with camels, trying to lure the Cavaliers away. Dual purpose, by the way. Number 1, they kill fewer villagers. Number 2, it gives Hera an opportunity to reinforce with even more heavy camels. So the level of game sense out of both of these players is just absolutely epic. I am just incredibly impressed every time I see these kinds of maneuvers out of players. I mean, I'm assuming that's what happened. I might just be making things up. They might just be both just clicking whatever the hell they want. I highly doubt it. I don't think either of these players really does anything without thinking about it. And here we go. We've got a 3-part battle. The Cavaliers engage the camels on the right, the Boyars on the left, and the Halberdiers in the center. This army is ass backwards for our Slav. The Halberdiers should have been on the wings, and the Boyars should have been in the center to go right up against these Janissaries. But he manages to get the Treb. 1 of 2 Trebs. Another huge explosion. The tower is down. That tower that cost Hearttt so much blood in the earlier stages of the game. And he gets the Treb right before the villagers can come to repair. These villagers are shocked. They're dumbfounded. They don't know what to do. Hera repurposes them immediately to farming. And it looks like our Turk did get the better of the engages there. Maybe? I don't know. Half of Heartt's army was, what was it? We'll go back at the end of the game at the 44-ish minute mark of the game, because I think Heartt's army was backwards. I would have loved to see the Halberdiers on the wings. I mean, obviously in the south, you can't control that because it's those Cavaliers that were trying to get these gold miners, who are now, by the way, protected. What the hell killed all these villagers? This castle has 0 kills. What the hell killed all these villagers? Oh my god, is there like an invisible predator unit that I'm not aware of that's hanging out on one of these trees with that weird clicking sound? We've got Druzhina on the way. These Slavic infantry units are going to come, I believe, with half a tile of trample damage. Our Turk moves forward. No upgrade. Remember, I mentioned the Turks can upgrade some of their gunpowder units to come with extra range with the artillery upgrade. Does not look like the bombard cannon has benefited from that just yet. Hearttt pushes in. Very cocky move here. Druzhina is done. Was I right about the half a tile? Yes, I was. Area of effect range 0.5 tiles. And our Slav pushes in, but yet again his army is, I don't want to say backwards this time. It's not great, and it just gets absolutely decimated. Holy shit, the Slavic army just melted. He's raiding here to the north, but oh no, Hera is gonna make my life and Heartt's life a living hell. This is what he lives for, to absolutely multi-prong the hell out of his opponent with hussars. And like I said, the Turks, he did not need to even wait this long. He could have just immediately moved forward with the hussars. No need to pay for the upgrade. Wait for the upgrade. The Janissaries, how many kills? 47 for 23 is a 2-to-1 ratio, which is not bad. I mean, look at the kill count right now. 169 kills for the Turk, 76 kills for the Slav. That just goes to show you how much our Slav is just butting heads and taking the worst engagements, and how much efficiency our Turk is getting out of these units. What the hell is going on? What is happening here? This Treb. Oh, he gets one. But the bombard cannons for our Turk move in. Now they've got artillery. +2 range gives them 14 range. No siege engineers, so that's going to basically be it for those bombard cannons. And Hearttt just keeps sending in. I mean, I don't know if he's sending these in. I don't know if these are on autopilot here, you know, the way they get attacked and immediately charge to their deaths. Looks like Hera is continuing to raid in the back of our Slavic base, but our Slav looks like he's cleaning it up. Will the Boyars finally get the Treb? They do, but they have to get the hell out of here. This is not an army you can really engage. If you want to engage into heavy camels with halberdiers, that is absolutely fine. But if you want to engage into elite Janissaries, you're going to need at least a 2.5 to 1 ratio. If he's got how many? 24 Janissaries, you need at least, what is that, 60 halberdiers. Otherwise, you're just going to get gunned down, even with the trample damage. These are not Woot's steel halberdiers. And Hera, yet again, moving in with a whole bunch of hussars, cleaning up this outpost. And now he's besieging the Slavic castle, and looks like our Slav is abandoning that castle. I mean, what the hell's the point of one villager repairing it? I guess it's not a trap. I guess it's just bombard cannons. One gets converted. Good for Hearttt to get rid of half of the army supply. And there's 2 militias in the middle of the Slavic army here. Why the hell not? They also come with an area of effect range of 0.5 tiles. Trample damage. Okay. All right. Something we see sometimes. Oh yeah, goodbye. Goodbye. Look at him, Leroy Jenkinsing to his death here. Treb Bolt misses. Bombard Cannon does not miss. Yeah, only plus 200 attack bonus against building. What's the Treb? 500? Not 500. My God, not 500. 250. Look at the wanton destruction. The dead boyars here in the battlefield. This is the last remaining Turkish structure in the Slavic settlement. But our Slav is keeping pace with army count and is now getting hussars of his own. Gentlemen, please, please do not break my neck as I try to look left, right, up, down. While they raid the hell out of each other. Boyars are going to be able to stop these hussars, but not before the hussars get a good amount of villager kills here. Upgrades, fully upgraded hussars. And remember, they come with extra pierce armor. So 7 pierce armor makes them pretty damn good at raiding. Looks like Hera actually stopped with these hussars here. Gets cleaned up. What are the upgrades on the boyars? Fully upgraded boyars. I mean, look at that. Teutonic Knight level 11-7. Cleans up the attack. I mean, this is Hera's secondary stone, remember? So unless he's somehow gotten stone from other parts of the map, he's got 0 villagers on stone. Our Turk might be in a spot of bother here. 1 villager kill for these hussars right as they engage in with a slower moving but much more powerful unit. And Hera's going to lead him on quite a chase here as he tries to get more and more villagers before ultimately crapping out and dying there. Ram upgrades, handcart at the 55-minute mark of the game. Both players sitting on identical villager counts, almost identical military counts. Hera hasn't really been using these camels. He's just kind of healing them up. So he is happy to sit back and just bomb away at this castle while doing these small run-bys, keeping the Slav busy while these camels just get healed up more and more. Now, how many monks does he have? Just the 1. Okay, he's adding a second. Relic count 3-1 in favor of our Slav. Neither player really getting this relic. I mean, Blue obviously has seen it. Has Hera seen it? Yeah, both players have seen it. Surprised none of them are actually taking it. Why do they feel like these guys are moving super slow? In any event, slow or not, there's already halberdiers here to deal with this. Another run by. I mean, this is just so annoying. 4 here, 5 there, 6 there. Meanwhile, the camels, which had 1900 or so HP, now have almost 2100 HP. And our Slav is returning the favor with raiding of his own. Oh my goodness. My poor, poor neck can't take all the swerving left to right. But the villagers are dead. No more stone miners for either player. Hera's stone count is at a massive 4 to the 150 of his opponent, who is going to run out of stone pretty damn quickly. And let's see a big... I mean, I feel like we're moving towards a big battle here that our Slav might take the better of, just because he's got 1500 gold in the mega. Oh my God, he smushes, not exactly a siege monk rush, but he smushes these hussars right up against the castle, and they all end up dying. Fantastic, fantastic body block there out of these halberdiers. A siege workshop remains unfinished. Siege rams in here. Remember, they are cheaper for the Slavs, so he can build more of them. And now the Hussars are going to move in. Are they going to try to go after the Janissaries? Are they going to go after the bombard cannons? Nope. They are going straight to the ferryman. Okay. So neither player here really engaging. I mean, the Turkish army is just so much more powerful than the Slavic army. I mean, you've got halberdiers even with trample damage. I mean, like, this is just an absolute disaster. What is happening here? Hearttt is just, I don't know what to say. It's not exactly feeding. He's just kind of parading around the front. Is he just getting rid of population space for boyars? No, he's replacing the Hussar, these halberdiers with Hussars. Meanwhile, these camels are almost at perfect health. This is just ridiculous. I don't know what Hearttt is doing. His castle is down. He is just engaging in small clumps against these Janissaries while at the same time, oh my god, forget 4 or 5, 19 Hussars are making their way into the back of the Slavic base. Castle is down. Our Turk feels confident. This is the moment he can move forward. Did Hearttt wait too long? I mean, you're engaging camels with Hussars. Goodbye, Hussars. Halberdiers are a good choice here. Okay, now he gets his army movement correct. Okay, the camels will lose this, especially if the Hussars start attacking the Janissaries. Okay, so Hera healed these units up for the last 30 minutes, only to have them gone in the blink of an eye. But does he care? How many freaking Janissaries? 42 Janissaries. Having eviscerated the villager count, 16 villagers killed. He is now attacking the military structures. And all of a sudden, even though, again, look at that, the villager count is identical, both of them at 109. Look at the army count. Oh, goodness. Yeah, not surprising, but man, what an absolute epic game here out of both players raiding the heck out of each other. I mean, there's still a Hussar left in the back of Hera's base. I mean, how many picture-in-pictures am I going to have to put into this? And look at this. They're just still tearing into each other. Our Slav killing villagers, getting rid of infrastructure. Might want to go after this monastery. Still, no one has claimed this relic. While at the same time, our Turk, 16 villagers he killed here. These guys are still alive. I mean, look at their HP. Absolutely terrible. So they're not long for this world. But now he's pushing in 170 kills for 42 Janissaries is almost exactly 4 kills apiece. That is how you keep an army alive. Our Turk Hera giving us an absolute showcase in how to keep these units alive. I really do wonder if Hearttt gave him a little bit too much leeway, waited a little bit too long to engage, and whether, I mean, look at his resources. You could have built a whole bunch more boyars. You could have trained a whole bunch more Hussars, especially with all the infrastructure you've got. I mean, what the hell is this? 16 stables out of our Slav. And so he could have taken a lot of, how do I put this? The engagements he took could have looked a lot different. He got stuck here for a little bit. Hera, I mean, I don't know if this is intentional or not, but he didn't really chop down these 2 stumps, which means that our Slav can't really engage full frontal. He has to go around into this one tile here, and into that choke point is basically a death sentence against the Janissaries. But I feel like our Slav, if he had just put on a little bit more pressure here in the center, when those camels, their HP was down to shite, could have taken a much firmer stance against the Turk, and maybe even push the Turk back. I mean, there's literally nothing standing between this area where Hera had been gathering his army for the last 30 minutes and the base. Once he gets rid of the army, there's a tower and a castle, and maybe a tower over here as well. But what are towers and castles for Trebs? In any event, our Slav moving forward with these siege rams. I mean, I would have loved to see maybe some siege onagers. In any event, I'm not going to say I would have done this. What an absolute fantastic game. Let's take a look at the stats. Halberdiers for Hearttt, Hussars for Hera. Okay, so literally, like I said in the beginning, this game is brought to you by the letter H. Hearttt going Halberdiers, Hera going Hussars, and that's the last you're going to hear me huff and puff the H's. PKPM towards the end of the game. PKPM, similar time by the way, about a minute apart. Economies, wow. Wow, almost identical. Without the relic gold, would have been identical. More wood, more stone for our Slav, more gold and more food for our Turk. Not surprising there, but the differences are not high at all. Conversions, 9 out of 270 is not that great. Only 3%, 3 out of 349 is, yeah, less than 1%. There is Druzhina. Did he get detonates? Were his castles a little bit cheaper on the stone expenditure? It doesn't look like it. And there's artillery for our Turk. Doesn't really need Sipahi. Didn't really go cav archers. But holy moly, I mean, look at the kill count. 455 to 240. Literally 200 more kills than his opponent. And not surprisingly, it's all this unit. 170 of it is just this one class of units. The bombards killed 4. The camels, yeah, they killed 6. I mean, I LOL at keeping these guys alive, healing them for about half an hour, and then losing them all into one engagement in the blink of an eye against halberdiers. But doesn't really matter. Hera just kept his army alive way too long. Our Slav just did not apply the pressure necessary to stop this Turkish death ball from going up, even though both players, again, have just been tearing into each other for the last good 20 to 30 minutes. And with that tearing and with the poking, the prodding, and the absolute destruction, what a crazy fun game. I mean, I still can't believe Heartt's base. 16 stables. 16 stables, our Turk. 29 stables. I was going to say the Slavic base looks like box art, but what the actual holy hell do you do against a Turk with 69 LOL villagers on food and 29 stables? I mean, what the hell? I'm going to zoom out. I want to make sure I have them all. Yeah, no, 29. What an absolute crazy game. And even though the kill count is so similar, economically very similar, score count about 20% difference. But like I said, ultimately this unit is really what was the backbone of Hera's army here. Just gutted every attempt by the Slav to move forward. And by the way, there were a lot of attempts by our Slav to move forward. Not with the biggest of armies, not with the biggest of clumps, but they all fell to the Turkish gunpowder. And with that Turkish gunpowder, Hera is victorious. But GG in an incredibly fun game to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.